Aloha! It is I, the Great Clement, and we are continuing the Sonic series with my favorite video game of all time! Sonic the Hedgehog motherfucking 2! Yes, I love this game. This game gives you the option to play as Sonic and Tails, Sonic alone, or Tails alone. And, I'm gonna make it Sonic alone for most of the game, but since I'm going to conclude everything in this LP, let's start the first two zones with Sonic and Tails. Why not? Who's Tails, I guess some people may be asking, all two of you. Well, Tails, his full name is Miles Per Hour. It's a pun on miles per hour, get it? 'Cause it's fast, and it's a very speedy-oriented type video game, and yeah. Tails' home island is called West Side Island. West Side, bitches! And, that's where this game, Sonic the Hedgehog 2, takes place. Basically, Tails was an ordinary two-tailed fox. I say ordinary keyword, but, he has two tails, and he can use them to fly around and travel huge distances with them. And, yeah. Basically, he saw Sonic running around very fast like he always does, and he decided to keep following him, and eventually he befriended Sonic the Hedgehog, and they've been running together ever since. Tails is a very smart genius, but that plot point wasn't established later until the 3D games in the series. This is before Tails became a raving pussy, but we'll get to that later. But damn, I love Sonic the Hedgehog 2. The intro stage, Emerald Hill, very fast, very awesome. I love it! And there's where the special stage is! If you have 50 rings and you hit a checkpoint, a flurry of stars will appear above it, and you jump into it, and here we are at the special stage to collect the now seven Chaos Emeralds in order to get the ultimate reward. The rules are simple. Rings fly down the tunnel, you have to run into those rings to collect them, and if you don't have enough rings that you need, you can't pass the checkpoint, and you can't get to the Chaos Emerald. Cool! So I had enough rings. Now I need 80. It's easy in the first special stage because there's hardly any bombs, but in later stages, rings just appear at random, and they're very hard to catch, and then the bombs become frequent, and the bombs take away a couple rings from you when they hit you, which is very fucking annoying. If you're playing as Sonic and Tails, Tails will collect rings himself, and that'll count towards the overall score, but if he gets hit by a bomb, he loses the rings he has, and vice versa, you know. And there's a real delay between how Tails moves and how you move. If you move right, Tails doesn't move right until like a second later or 2 seconds later, so he'll constantly be hitting bombs and losing rings if you play with Tails. Then again, he's collecting rings for you by being there, by making the amount of space you collect, or the amount of space you take up bigger, so I don't know if it's a pro or con having Tails in the special stage, but I guess that's up to you, the gamer. And there's our first Chaos Emerald. If you do a special stage and then leave, then you restart the levels, you don't have any rings at all. And once again, Dr. Eggman is the boss of every stage in the game. And I don't know how I fucked this up, but, I'll just watch. Oh god. I was trying to roll into him like I did earlier, and I fucked up. I never die at the first boss, and I'm recording an LP, for God's sake. Oh, I guess I could re-record it, but, you know. We'll let that go. You just saw the first time anyone's ever died to the first boss in Sonic 2. Congrats. And it's very simple. He drives left and right. And when he's on his last legs, like if you hit him 7 times, and then the 8th hit is his death, then when he comes off screen, he's going to shoot his drill at you, and you gotta watch out for that. But really, it's very easy. It's the first boss of the game, so of course it's easy. I somehow died, but I didn't have any rings, so that's my excuse. Fuck you! And this is the Chemical Plant Zone. This is my favorite video game of all time, and the many reasons why is because it's so fucking fun to play. The music, Every song in this game I love. There is not one song on this game that I don't love. I knew when I was evaluating my games, like my favorite games, like what would make my favorite? It would have to be the one that stands up above all else. The one that makes me smile more than other games. The ones that I play more. The ones that I love, absolutely love the soundtrack to. And Sonic 2, I love every song in the game. Every song makes me happy. That's why it's my favorite game ever. This is the only game I could beat, and then in the same sitting, restart and beat it again. I have beaten this game twice in a row, just for the hell of it. Just when I'm bored, because I love Sonic 2 that much. It's that fun to play for me. It improves on so much of what the Sonic the Hedgehog game started, and it's just such a perfect game. The music is just great, the levels are atmospheric, and this was a great game to be raised on. I grew up on this game. My cousins had the Sega Genesis, both of them. They both had Sonic the Hedgehog 2, and every time I went to my cousins, this is the game I played and fucking played to death. I love this game. This got me into Sonic the Hedgehog, and I've never looked back since. Love this game. The new ability they've included in Sonic 2, and they're going to include in every Sonic game from now on, is the spin dash. And basically, you hold down, and then you push the jump button, and Sonic curls into a ball without actually going anywhere, so he's speeding out on the ground, basically. And then you let go of the down button, and Sonic just fucking ricochets forward, and it's an awesome move. People love it. It's great for getting you up steep hills and giving you a nice momentum of speed. It's an awesome ability and one we all love. Damn, I love this game. This is gonna be my whole commentary for the whole LP. I just love this game. I love it. I love it. I love it! I can't not love it. It's the most amazing game I've ever played. I love this one. Chemical Plant is also one of those water-type levels, but the thing I love about Sonic the Hedgehog 2, it's all depending on how well you play the game, folks. If you play the game well, like I do here, you never touch the water. So there is water here to drown in, but if you're fast enough, if you jump on the platforms right, you won't fall into the water and you won't drown. There's another zone coming up next, Aquatic Ruin. It has water too, but depending on how the paths you take and the platforms you land on, you'll probably never land in the water. You know, if you don't like the water, get good at the game, basically. And I am good at this game. Here's our second special stage. I love the special stage theme song, by the way. This is such an hyperactive, awesome theme. Oh, I love it. This special stage actually became a running theme with the Sonic series later on as it went on, because Sonic Advance has a special stage that is very similar to this. Sonic Heroes has a special stage that is very similar to this. Running down the tubes trying to get the Chaos Emerald, I don't know why, that just became a huge theme with the Sonic series. And for good reason, you know? These aren't the easiest special stages in the world either. Sonic 1 is pretty easy. Sonic 3, if you know what you're doing, is easy. But Sonic 2, even memorizing it, you can still screw it up, because sometimes in the later special stages, you have to have the exact amount of rings. Like, you have to be, like, you can't miss too much. If you miss, like, 5, you're pretty much screwed, and that's what makes the special stages kind of a pain in the ass. But, I don't mind. My favorite game of all time had to have some kind of difficulty, and this is definitely the hard part of the Sonic game, of Sonic the Hedgehog 2, is getting all the Chaos Emeralds. Because if you can get all the Chaos Emeralds, then you're a fucking master at this game. Just like me! What can I say? I've played this to death so many times. I just memorized the pathing. I've memorized how the bombs show up. The thing you just gotta remember is you gotta know where the camera's pointing. If the camera's pointing on the right side of the tunnel, chances are the ring's gonna show up on the right side of the tunnel. You know, you just have to have common sense, basically. And now we make it to the second boss. Eggman shows up to suck up water and then spray the water at you, assuming you don't kill him fast enough like I do. You just jump on him and bounce on him, and that's pretty much it. The thing I don't like playing with Tails for, sometimes Tails will accidentally hit Eggman first, and then Sonic will pass through Eggman because Tails hit him, and then you'll fall in the water or something, you know? I don't like to play with Tails normally, and that's why this is the last zone you see Sonic and Tails. But anyway, folks, I'll see you in part 2!